Hi everybody, I'm Phil Fatica. Welcome to the Mill Creek Government Channel. I'd like to introduce the people sitting next to me. On your left is Dan Peritano. Dan is the soccer coach at Penn State Behrend, but more than that, he is, and we'll tell you that in a second. And sitting next to him is his wife, Jane Brady. Jane and Dan, thank you so much for being here today. At Behrend, you are the?
Associate Director of Financial Aid.
You're the money person.
Yes.
Okay. Today's topic, though, is not about their jobs at Penn State Behrend. It is about their advocacy for an organization called the ARC, A-R-C, which is an acronym which stands for Advocacy and Resource Center. For whom? For what kinds of people? All yours. You got an hour.
Well, the Advocacy and Resource Center of Erie County serves individuals and their families, individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families.
Okay. And I understand it's not just in Erie County that ARC exists, it is throughout the country.
It is a statewide organization and a national organization.
Okay. Now, you are very close to this because of something that's brought you close to this, and that is what?
Yes.
That is our 13-year-old daughter, Emma, who has a developmental disability. She has cerebral palsy, and she is a very active and happy young woman.
How did this happen? When? Give us a timeline. Did you know what to do then? How did you come up on ARC? All those kinds of things.
Shortly after Emma's birth, she suffered a brain injury, a cerebral hemorrhage. It was not an accident or any typical trauma. It's just something that happened. She spent about a month down in Pittsburgh at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, and fortunately she survived. And the doctors there just told us we have to wait and see what happens as she develops. And in that time, that was 13 years ago, and since that time, our journey has taken us through some ups and downs, but along the way we have met wonderful people, people facing the same challenges that we have, including members of the ARC of Erie County, and that's kind of how we made these connections and became involved.
Did you find them or did they find you, ARC?
We found them, I would say.
I think a little bit of both. I think when you're in the special needs community, you develop relationships informally. You develop some relationships formally, and through our interaction at various activities for Emma, we've just developed a group of friends and relationships, and through that process, we got involved with ARC, and we're very pleased to be part of ARC.
That's nice. That's nice. You're not funded through state or federal monies. Am I correct in that?
There is no public support.
No public support whatsoever. How do you survive financially then? Where's the money come from? You are the money person at
right, well, not related to this, but that is pretty much why we're here today, is to talk a little bit about the campaign that we are pleased to be involved with. I would say the campaign that ARC goes through annually is really its primary source of funding. Corporate and personal donations to the ARC of Erie County. Okay.
Website, mailing address, phone number where people can do that? It is, what is it?
arcoferiecounty.org.
.org. Okay, and that'll give you all the information.
Yes.
Yes, pretty thing.
Yes.
I don't want to get, I want to be careful here. How did it change your life? When you found out that Emma was just going to be not, I don't know, what word are you comfortable with? I love the word you had, journey. Yes, it is a journey, yes.
Emma has special needs.
Yes.
And when you become a parent, and I said this at our ARC kickoff luncheon for this campaign, you are stepping into the unknown, as any parent is. And when you realize that you're a parent of a special needs child, you're really going down a path, of course, that's been charted before, but it's unknown. But not for us, and there's a lot of unknowns. And And like Jane and I had mentioned earlier, you rely on a lot of people who have taken that journey. It's not exactly the same, but you rely on a lot of people and utilize a lot of resources like ARC, like the Achievement Center. Erie is a very good community for special needs children and their families. So you rely on a lot of people to make this journey successful, enjoyable, pleasurable for your family, and most importantly for your daughter.
Absolutely. You're both professionals. You both have full-time jobs. How does your daughter manage when you're not around?
Well, in our situation, Emma really does require somebody to be with her at all times. She really has no, she needs a lot of self-help care, and she's not really aware of safety issues as well. So, you know, we're fortunate enough that when she's not in school, we do have supports in place, particularly nursing. She does have some medical issues where we do utilize nursing services for her, particularly during the summers. But we do, you know, our schedules are such that we are able to, during the school year, to be there for her when she is not in school.
I'm pretty sure that my research, and I think I knew this, is that Dr. Gertrude Barber from the Barber Center pretty much started this back in 1952 because there was nobody doing this. She filled the void, and for those many, many years it has gotten bigger and better and bigger and better because simply nobody was doing anything with these children except perhaps putting them into state institutions, which was horrific at best and just cruel at best, and just all those hard words that you want to use. And I can't help but notice that as Emma progresses and gets older, I say this from experience. I have a cousin of mine who has a child who is this way, and you have to plan for the fact that someday you may not be around. And that seems so difficult because to me it seems difficult, but you're so well adjusted with this, you're so well spoken about this, you're so loving and kind and generous and all the good things that all good parents should be. What do you tell people out there that says, okay, you're not alone?
You truly aren't alone. Best advice I can give a parent of a special needs child is to ask questions, is to rely on the many people that are out there. There are people like ARC in and around Erie statewide that are really willing to guide you down the right path, and asking is knowing. That's the best advice I can give a parent of a special needs child, is to rely on people, on resources, and learn as much as you can, ask questions.
Now, educationally, I know that IEPs, Individualized Educational Plan Program, come into play here. Do you participate in that?
Absolutely. We actually just had one this morning.
Okay. And what do you map out? What do you do?
Well, the IEP process, a student who utilizes an IEP and their family meet with their school support team, their teachers, their therapists that are involved, and that kind of thing, at least yearly, but many times you meet more frequently if there are concerns or issues that need to be addressed. And Emma certainly has a very extensive, I think it was 43 pages, her IEP. But it's a working document that evolves and changes as the students progress through school, and it outlines your goals and your objectives, what you're trying to achieve. When
you say school, where does she go to school? Actually leave the home, go to school?
Emma goes to Rolling Ridge Elementary School, which is in the Harbor Creek School District, and because of her transition this fall to Northeast, her IEP this morning was quite extensive, and as Jane mentioned, it's a complete team of therapists, both physical therapists, speech therapists, and occupational therapists. So she will be enrolling in Northeast Middle School this fall.
How exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
And Emma will be, I think, scared.
Yeah.
And excited.
Yeah.
New friends. Emma likes to make friends.
That's a big change. Is it fair to say you have another child? And how does that play out? Like I said, you have an hour here.
We do. We have an 11-year-old daughter as well, Claire, who is an 11-year-old, typical 11-year-old girl. Yep.
Yeah. When Emma goes to school, it is amazing to me that you know, that didn't happen. There were no IEPs. That's just come so far, and I think a very short period of time because of good people like yourselves who are out there advocating, saying, look, you're not alone. Let me show you how we can do this. And that leads to networking. That leads to pressure politically. Anything you want to handle there, just go ahead. It needs to, we need help, we need volunteers, you need to understand this, there is a place where you can go for help, all of the above.
Well, and that's one of the beauties of ARC of Erie County is the support that they can provide, free support to members of our Erie community.
Say that word again.
Free.
Free.
Yeah.
Yes.
The IEP process in particular, educational advocacy is really one of the pillars of the services that ARC provides.
One of their primary focuses.
One of their primary, yes. And it can be a little overwhelming for students and their families, and not always necessarily a smooth process. And so having somebody there to help support the family during that meeting, or provide tips and ideas and suggestions for appropriate goals and objectives to make sure the student can reach their full potential is valuable, invaluable. Obviously, the support a student receives while they're in school will make their life more purposeful and fulfilling when they're out of school later on.
How does Emma handle school? How does she do with that? What favorite subject? One she goes, nah, I don't like that one.
Music.
She loves music?
She loves music, yeah.
Okay.
And her favorite subject is socializing. She is a very social young girl.
Lunchtime.
Oh, that's
Recess.
Yeah. Does she have a companion during the day? Somebody?
She does. She has a woman by the name of Mary Cass, who has been with her actually for 6 or 7 years now.
Since kindergarten.
You know, since kindergarten. That has been her personal care attendant.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah. You can become a member, as I said, by again give the address of the website, or you know, but it's very easy.
arcoferiecounty.org, and they are located on West 26th Street. And the membership is it's a $25 yearly membership fee, and again, advocacy, educational advocacy, social functions. ARC does many of those. And also, we'll get you in touch with the many recreational activities within the Erie community.
Now, when you say that recreational activities, what do you mean by that?
There are numerous recreational activities in and around Erie County for special needs children, ranging from baseball to sailing to bowling to skating. There's a wonderful skating program that starts in September at Mercyhurst College called Gliding Stars. And our basketball team at Penn State Barron does a basketball program for 4 weeks in the fall, and our soccer teams do an 8-week soccer program called Top Soccer that begins in March. So ARC will, again, connect you with those resources for recreational activities, social functions, and most importantly, the educational, as you mentioned, Phil, the educational component.
Truly out there, they're out there breaking the waves for the people who really can get lost in the system. I mean, it's just overwhelming and just drown in the paperwork and the politicizing about all of this. Come home. Emma comes home, stays at home.
Yes.
What happens when she gets home? You know, how are things handled?
Well, I usually do the afternoon routine. Emma comes home, and Emma is nonverbal. She has a communication device that we are working on her improving communicating through this device. And she's gotten better, but not quite there yet. She reports to me her school news, what she did that day, and she usually has homework as well. So we'll dive into her homework after she gets the snack that she so quickly demands when she gets off the bus. And then we just trudge through our night, go through dinner, and usually there's some kind of after-school activity for one of the girls, and just that's our routine.
She got good parents. She got good parents, didn't she? You're so active physically. You're the Penn State Barron men's soccer coach. Been there a couple of years, right?
Well, 19 years.
Yeah, 19 years. Started when you were 7 or 8, huh?
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place to work.
Yeah. And does your daughter ever join you? And does she know what you do? And does she want to watch and participate as much as she can at her level?
She's a busybody. She likes to swim or in the pool. At times, she is a basketball fan. Emma likes to move, whether it's in a wheelchair or in her walker. She's found, when she's in Junker, she finds the right places to do what she wants to do, whether it's play catch or roll around the track or swim in the pool with mom or dad. She's an active person, so she knows her way around Junker. Both daughters do, around campus.
Does she use the pool at all at the Barber Center? Because I know they have a
Hydraulic.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, that's
We've been there
comfortable?
before, yes.
That's comfortable for her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And much nicer. It's much warmer than the Junker pool.
Well, we're talking about ARC. It is an advocacy and resource center for people with developmental disabilities. I cringe when people use the word handicapped. That is such a bad term. Is it a person with a disability? It's not a disabled person, you know. And I think you learn that when you enter into that different strata there. And acceptance from the larger community has become much better, other than just making fun of them, because children can be very cruel, bullying, you know. But your experience in this acceptance is growing. What can I do for you? There, but for the grace of God, go us. Is it getting better, in your opinion?
We think so, and we talked about the IEP process earlier, and we discussed that in length today in Emma's individual education plan about the transition to middle school and with middle school children, and how attitudes may change with that age group. And we've been blessed with Emma being around open-minded, engaging, and warm people in the environment at Penn State Barron, with grandparents, of course, and with extended family. Emma's been very welcomed. She's going through a new transition, and time will determine that, but we're very positive and feel good about the environment she'll be in at Northeast in the fall.
That's nice.
I'd like to add that ARC, I mean, organizations like ARC, I think, have made that happen, or at least contributed, the
absolutely.
outreach that they do. And
there's a woman
advocacy.
sitting off camera, Irene, who has done that for years, who has pressed the flesh, has been to the meetings, has said to people, this what we're doing now has to stop and change. Yeah. So let me write. What kind of IEP does Emma get? What do they say? She's going to do this, and her goal should be this, and you know, I know they're very extensive. Yes. So what does she do? What's her typical IEP look like for her?
Well, you know, the document itself initially is. They just talk about an overview historically, the problem she had shortly after birth. Each team member, prior to the actual meeting, does a pretty extensive evaluation of where she is, you know, whether it's cognitively or physical therapy issues, OT issues, speech issues, and they each submit a report, which is part of the IEP. And from that, we work together to develop a set of goals and objectives. In Emma's case, a lot of our goals revolve around communication, and using multiple methods of communication, whether it is through her talking device or through signing or gesturing.
Is her talking device through a keyboard?
Yes, looks like it's a little computer, and she has it with her all day. And when she's not working at her desk, it's mounted onto her wheelchair. And the goals that we make, we try to incorporate in her daily activities. So she has to report, just like she reports her school news to me when she gets off the bus. In the morning, she has to report what she did at home the night before to her classmates. So that's part of it.
Cool.
Yeah. So we always have to be creative
Gossip.
every night. Yeah.
Gossip girl.
They don't hear it all.
It could be gossip.
Yeah.
We include Claire in that as well.
Right.
We have Claire.
do try to.
Claire records the school news once a week, typically.
Okay.
And we incorporate the use of that device as much as we can. It's used in a social setting as well as during the curricular parts of her day, throughout different topics, whether it's math or reading or, just anything that happens throughout the day. Right.
Yeah. Now, will she continue at a level where she can actually graduate from school? She will complete the requirements, and the plans then would be to do what?
That's a good question, and I don't know if we can answer that. We don't have the full picture of what Emma's capable of yet, her full potential. Again, organizations like ARC with advocacy for group homes, for the need. There's an enormous wait list in Pennsylvania, and we'd like to think maybe Emma would be in a group home.
Transition to that.
When she's done with high school. And that's another component that ARC does advocate and does keep people who have special needs children informed on legislation. Locally and,
I'm
and
glad you,
statewide.
thanks for bringing up legislation. Is it becoming more receptive? Is there, we don't have the money, don't talk to me now? Where are they on that timeline?
Times change, don't they?
Well, they do.
Right now there's a 20% proposed budget cut for special needs services in the Pennsylvania State Legislature right now. And ARC is statewide and local, with Gene Downey, who's the state rep for ARC, happens to be from Erie County, has done a lot of work, in particular early May, lobbying and working with legislatures to help, to assist with funding for special needs projects, whatever they may be.
I think in addition, the future for families like ours with children in this situation, the future is can be very scary. We want to make sure that Emma has a productive, meaningful life after she leaves school, with some kind of employment opportunities and that kind of thing, whether it's volunteerism or even on-the-job training and getting paid for a job somewhere. We want to make sure that we prepare her along the way, and that at the end of the journey that there are opportunities available to her.
Skills acquired.
Yeah. I'm very familiar with the workshop that they have at the Barber Center there across the street, where people do those and get and compensated for it. Again, this is Dan Paratano and his wife Jane Brady, and they both are employees at Penn State Barron, and they are the parents of a child with special needs, Emma, who is now 13. Okay, and she likes music. Loves singing, or in her way she sings. Yeah.
It's well said. In her way, she sings.
Broadway shows.
Oh, really?
She loves Broadway shows, yes.
Good for her, good for her. We got about a minute left. Make your best pitch. You can talk to me or talk to the camera right out there. The ARC.
The ARC is an organization that is not community funded. It is asking, not publicly funded, is asking for your support during the month of May, during our fundraising campaign here.
Year-long
fundraising
campaign.
It's
decades long.
You can go to arcoferiecounty.org and learn more about this organization and how your support can help special needs children, young adults, and families of special needs children and young adults.
Got the last word?
No, I ditto.
Okay. Dan and Jane, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Somehow it always seems to work out that the nicest people can carry the heaviest loads.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And thank you for being here. Until next time, you take care. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.